So today we're going to be talking about this right here, the UFC's men's pound for pound rankings update after UFC 315, because this quite possibly might be some of the worst rankings I have ever seen in my life. Like, the UFC are progressively getting worse with how they rank pound for pound lists, with how they rank certain divisions. Like, the featherweight division alone is mind-boggling how they have decided to rank certain fighters in certain positions in that division. But not enough people are talking about this pound for pound list. This is ass. This is horrendous. Some of these rankings, some of the people that are actually in the UFC's pound for pound top 15 don't make any sense at all. None whatsoever. We're going to go through them today. So, starting off in a number one, let's work our way down. In a number one, we've got Islam Makhachev. That makes sense. Islam Makhachev is now the greatest UFC lightweight of all time. He's got 4 title defenses. He's coming off a win over Moicano. He's about to move up to the welterweight division. He's about to tie Anderson Silva for the longest win streak in UFC history. He's beaten some really good names on his way to getting pound for pound number one. He's beaten the likes of Charles Oliveira, Volkanovski twice. He's beaten Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, and most recently beaten Money Moicano. So Islam Makhachev definitely has earned the title of number one pound for pound right now in the UFC, in my opinion, just with the work that he has done. So I completely agree with Makhachev in a number one, and I think everybody that has a fucking working brain located in their head and not up their fucking fart pipe would also agree with me. Jon Jones in at number two.
Bruh.
Jon Jones' last proper win came in 2023 against Ciryl Gane, and there's even circumstances around that because of how quick the fight was put together. I know you might say, well, what about Jon Jones beating Stipe at UFC 309? You can't discount Stipe. Stipe is the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time. He is the greatest heavyweight in mixed martial arts of all time, I will agree. But Stipe was about... What age was Stipe going into that matchup? About 78? And his last matchup before fighting Jon Jones, he was folded like a fucking deck chair by Ngannou 3 years prior, I believe. And that's Jon Jones' last win. He wasn't even right. I think when Stipe Miocic got into the cage against Jon Jones, he was ranked like number 8 in the UFC's heavyweight division.
Bruh.
Like, how the UFC keep giving this guy leeway? Like, Dana, there's no way Jones sucks at that good that he can be number 2 pound for pound and go over to Thailand for this new show he's filming with Nate Diaz, be all fruity on the back of a moped with some Russian guy. Also, that Russian guy in that video when he's sniffing his hair, I need someone to put on Find My iPhone for that guy, because I need confirmation that that guy is still breathing and he's still here with us after the deadpan look Jon Jones was giving him after sniffing his hair. We need updates on that guy's location ASAP, because we all know how Jon Jones moves. But yeah, there's no way Jones is sucking it that good for Dana. I know they have a relationship like Peyton Talbot and Frank Ocean, but there's no way he's pound for pound number 2. And this is the thing as well. It seems to be that Dana White keeps getting mixed up with the GOAT list and the pound for pound list. Jon Jones is number 1 on the GOAT list. I completely agree with people there. I know some people might disagree and say, what about PEDs? But if you're going to talk about PEDs, then you're like, if you're not going to include people who were on PEDs, you're probably looking at a GOAT of CM Punk, if I'm being honest, because all the greats will have taken something at some point that was illegal, or is illegal now, or was illegal back then that isn't illegal now, to help enhance their performance. That's just facts. GSP definitely done it. Habib, Islam's already been caught. Demetrius Johnson done it. I'm telling you, all these people will have taken something at one point that is now illegal. So if that's what you're going to include in why you can't have Jones as number 1, and believe me, if I could have Jon Jones not in the pound or in the GOAT conversation, he would be gone. But you have to recognise game. He's not pound for pound number 2 though. Honestly, I wouldn't even have Jon Jones in the top 10 pound for pound right now. I really wouldn't. I don't see an argument to be had as to why he should be in the top 10. I don't know. Maybe you have one. Let me know in the comments. I just don't see it. Ilia Topuria, ignore that voice break. Ilia Topuria in at number 3. Topuria should be number 2 in my opinion. This guy has got the 2 best back-to-back wins in UFC history. He has got the 2 best back-to-back wins out of anybody on this here. His win streak is really, really good. He's also got a win in the division above, which I think is something to factor in when you're looking at the pound-for-pound rankings. You know, Ilia Topuria fought most of his career at featherweight. Now he's moving up to lightweight, but in between his featherweight run to the title, he ended up jumping up and fighting in the lightweight division, which I think has to count for something, and he knocked him out. Now, was it the most elite level competition in lightweight in Jai Herbert? No, but even still. But regarding, if you disregard that lightweight move, the Bryce Mitchell win, Josh Emmett win, Volkanovski KO, and Max Holloway KO, he's number 2 pound for pound. I think everybody would agree with that. I don't think that's a hot take that Topuria is number 2. But again, let me know in the comments below. In at number 4, we've got Merab, definitely. Merab is the greatest bantamweight of all time. In terms of names on resumes, the run that he is on right now, Merab's number 3 pound for pound. Get Jones out of here. You've got the likes of these people, Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley, Jose Aldo. Who else has he beat? Aldo, O'Malley, Yan, Henry Cejudo. The Marlon Moraes win at the time was a really good win as well. Merab's number 3. Umar Nurmagomedov. Like the Umar Nurmagomedov win, I forgot about that, is going to age so well because Umar is a future bantamweight champion, which is unfortunate, but it is something we are going to have to get used to. The guy will win the belt at some point. The Umar win is going to age like when Mayweather beat Canelo for Merab. You know what I mean? Like, people thought, yeah, it's a good win at the time. But in a couple of years' time, they're like, holy shit, Merab beat him. Merab was the first guy to beat Umar. Great win. In at number 5, you've got Dricus Du Plessis. DDP's number 4, in my opinion, just basing it off what I think. I think DDP is 1 win off becoming the greatest middleweight of all time. People might not agree with me on that one. If DDP does beat Khamzat, he is better than Anderson Silva all time. We are going to have to get to a point now, in my opinion, where names on resume have to count for more than just continuous title defenses. I'm going to sneeze against plumbers. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, holy shit. Bless me. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I feel like names on resumes now have to matter more than a lot of title defenses against people that wouldn't even be inside the top 15 nowadays. And the run that he's on as well, Strickland twice, finishing Robert Whittaker, finishing Israel Adesanya, and if he beats Khamzat at UFC 319, crazy. I would still probably have Merab above him, even if he beats Khamzat. But yeah, DDP's on a crazy run. Ankalaev in a number 6. I would keep him there at number 6, to be honest. I wouldn't bump him up. Ankalaev is on a really good win streak, obviously beating Alex Pereira in a close fight. I'm going to have to sneak the close part in there. But yeah, Ankalaev's done really good work in that division. Beating Pereira, beating Rakic, beating Volkanovski, beating Anthony Smith, the GOAT, beating Lionheart, beat Johnny Walker as well. There's a lot of good wins on his resume. He deserves the number 6 spot. Volkanovski in at number 7, I agree. Volkanovski in terms of all time, this isn't pound for pound all time. Volkanovski is a top 5 fighter in my opinion. Yes, there was a couple of losses in there in his last, 3 or 5 fights. He's 3 wins, 2 losses, but those losses were Islam Makhachev, that he took a fight in short notice, got head kicked. No shame in that, he's pound for pound number 1. And then the loss to Ilia Topuria again. Some circumstances involved in that loss as well, but he is back. He just beat Diego Lopez, who was the number 1 contender at the time. Well, Mozart probably deserved it more than Lopez when Lopez got the shot, if we're being honest. But he was the number 1 contender at the time. Volkanovski's there. I'm happy enough with that. Moving on, we've got Pereira in at 8. Yeah, the guy was top 3 pound for pound. He lost the belt to Ankalaev. He's a 2-division world champion. He's beaten like 5 former UFC world champions in such a quick succession of time. Pereira in at 8. I like it. JDM in at number 9. I hate it. Now, this isn't because I hate JDM, and if you look through my channel, I've said JDM's ruined the UFC for beating Bilal Muhammad. I actually picked JDM to beat Bilal Muhammad, and before the circumstances were laid out about what was going to happen in International Fight Week, I really wanted JDM to win. Kind of glad he won also as well. But he is not above Pantoja. This is what really sparked this video. How the fuck is Pantoja number 10? This guy is pound for pound top 5 End of discussion. This guy's on a 7-fight win streak. He's lapped his division. He has got 3 title defenses. That's more title defenses than Dricus Du Plessis, more than Ilia Topuria, more than Merab, more than Ankalaev, more than Volkanovski. The only person right now that has more title defenses than him is Islam Makhachev. He's also so well rounded. Like, the only thing that goes against Pantoja is that he doesn't have a win over someone in the pound for pound rankings. That is the only thing. But the guy has lapped his division. He's got multiple title defenses. When you look at the guys that he's beaten in his division, there's a couple of former champs in there. Pantoja's top 5 pound for pound. I don't understand what their problem is with moving this guy up the rankings. He has deserved it. He has earned to be in the top 5 pound for pound. Tom Aspinall in at number 11. Happy enough with that. Max Holloway in at 12. I don't understand this. So Max Holloway's in at number 12. Belal Muhammad, who was ranked number 7, I believe, loses to JDM, is then dropped 6 spots below Max Holloway. Again, how does that make sense? So Belal Muhammad, former UFC welterweight champion. Now, did he get a title defense? No. But he beat Leon Edwards, who was top 4, I think, top 5 pound for pound when he beat him. Belal Muhammad, before losing to JDM, was on a 10-fight win streak. He loses the belt to JDM and somehow Max Holloway, the guy who is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, coming off a KO defeat to Ilia Topuria, is somehow above Belal Muhammad now. Now, don't get me wrong, I prefer Max Holloway as a fighter. He's more entertaining to watch, but that's not what this is. How is Belal Muhammad below Max Holloway? How is Max Holloway this high up on the list? I don't get it. See, when they do this pound for pound rankings update, I would love for them to have someone to own the update and be like, this is why he's here, these are our reasonings. But they don't do that. How can you have Belal Muhammad below Max Holloway? I don't get it. Even to have Max Holloway above Sean O'Malley, for example. Sean O'Malley, he's coming off, he's coming off a loss to Merab, who's top 5 pound for pound, right? Before that, he beat Aljamain Sterling. He beat Chito Vera. That's a title defense. He beat Aljamain Sterling for the title, who at the time would have been top 8 pound for pound when he beat him. Before that, I'm pretty sure Jan was in the pound for pound rankings when O'Malley beat him. Now, close fight, people say robbery, but it's still a win on O'Malley's resume. But yet you've got Max Holloway above him. It doesn't make sense. And then to have Charles Oliveira capping off the men's pound for pound in at number 15, how the fuck is Charles Oliveira top 15 pound for pound in the UFC? They've kept him in this list because they announced him versus Topuria. It doesn't make sense. There's so many people that are more deserving than Oliveira. Just to name a few: Arman Tsarukyan, 4-fight win streak in the UFC's lightweight division. He's the number 1 contender in the division, and he just beat Charles Oliveira. Oliveira isn't on this crazy run either. Oliveira is 2-2 in his last 4 fights, beating the likes of Michael Chandler in a rematch that, it's Michael Chandler. And when you compare Oliveira's win to Michael Chandler over Paddy Pimblett's win over Michael Chandler just in recent times, Paddy Pimblett beat him way better than what Oliveira did. Then you've got a win over Beneil Dariush. I actually think that's a pretty good win that Oliveira has. But, he's lost to Arman and he's lost to Islam in between those times. Not bad losses to have, but he's definitely not top 15. The guy who should be top 15 is Nassourdine Imavov, the number 1 contender in the UFC's middleweight division. The guy's on a 4-fight win streak. All 4 of those wins have came against guys that are in the top 10 of the UFC's middleweight division, and he's coming off a KO win over Israel Adesanya. How is Nassourdine Imavov not on this list? How is Oliveira here? I don't get it. I really don't get it yet. The UFC's rankings are getting worse. They're not getting better, they are getting worse. Let me know what you think of the pound for pound rankings in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you all again in the next one.